And we're live. What's up, guys? What's up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor, and we are doing our first ever. I don't even know what I'm going to call this. I was going to call it like bring your snack and you bring your hydration or whatever, what kind of beverage you want to enjoy the last 10 minutes of the close and seeing what happens with some Zoom stock. I'm getting a lot of people telling me on their recommendations and so forth. So it's going to be quite a ride for sure. Just want to let everyone start joining, coming on here. Want to make sure everything is gun-ho for everyone. Everyone's able to see everything. We'll see. Got my little awesome clip art that I did. Working? Great. Thank you, my friend. Do you have any predictions there, Ben? Oh, is that... Oh, Bev. Sorry. That was an N. That's a V. What did you bring for your snack and your hydration, if I may ask? Again, I have a Nature Valley Biscuits almond butter snack. I buy like 50 of these at Costco, and they're delicious. It's kind of basic, but they're delicious. So if you hear crunching, that's what I'm eating on. Gotta have a snack. I want everyone to... What do you guys bring for a snack? Come on. I really wanted people to bring snacks. Yeah, Qualcomm is rocketing. I saw that. Milk. Okay. What kind of chocolate milk? Vanilla milk? Or just plain old whole milk? You're welcome, my friend. Qualcomm, anything with to do with like 5G has literally been on fire, honestly. So, we'll see here in a little bit. Let me get my screen out of the way so we start looking at ZM. And I can break down what I'm looking at here. As a big UPS truck just flies by the house. Alright, let's see here. So, I got quite a bit of lines here on the, again, Zoom. So the initial white box, or this rectangle, sorry, not a box, was basically the one deviation move of the overall options that is expiring this week. Again, that was this Friday's expiration. And where we got those numbers from is right here. So if you hit on the trade tab here, you see the 5th of June. This is the weeklies, and you scroll all the way over here. It's saying 2750-ish, plus or minus a dollar amount. So that could be a pretty crazy move. Again, we're not going to sure if it's going to go up, down, left, sideways, or whatever. So we'll see. Coffee, awesome. I should make some iced coffee. I enjoy iced coffee. It's been fairly hot here. It's 77 outside right now. So again, this is the standard one deviation move. So this box up here, the edges are. So that is basically saying that the options or the market makers are saying 68% of the move will be in this box or this rectangle. Then you see some further alerts that I have out. I have the 275 and then I have the 140. That's going to be the second deviation move for Friday. And that's going to be basically covering nearly 87 or 85% of the total move of this following week. That being said, that is a pretty substantial move. Anything outside of these lines is going to be considered epic, lack of better words, and something to completely see. And then another thing that we're going to be kind of doing here, again, I'm just doing this on the fly. I'm just trying to have fun with this and kind of have people learn options and understand trading and what I do here. So again, if you're just joining, thank you so much, my friends. Someone's drinking hot coffee. Yep, you did make it just in time. Again, if you want to, you can post on what you're eating or your snack is within the chat. I'm actually drinking, I'm basic again, my Kirkland Italian sparkling mineral water, and it has, it's a product of Italy. That's all it has in the bottle. And then, of course, if you haven't heard, then I'm eating a Nature Valley biscuits with almond butter. Biscuits, so whoever's from the UK, don't you call all your cookies biscuits? So Who was that from the UK? Paul Woods? Oh, it's too late for a snack? Alright, I see. So going back to the chart here, so we're going to be looking at basically, I kind of changed a couple things around. So we're going to be looking at this down here, which I'm going to actually highlight so I can add that to the screen. Whoa, that just popped crazy. So basically what this does, this down here on the very bottom here, this is more for particularly for day trading, or I just use it after hours to see when something is or after earnings calls and things like that, because you can see the bid here and then the ask here, and there's pretty narrow spread here. So the bid is 207 to 207, so we're talking literally 15 or 20 cents. This thing is going to start literally printing once the earnings comes out. And we can also turn on the live news tab here, and it kind of tells you on what's going on there as well. I know it kind of looks really clunky here, so what we can do here is kind of remove a couple of these things to kind of make things look pretty. Oh, someone's eating Nature Valley protein bar? Yeah, that's nice. Oh, you're on a strict diet. Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with that, dude. I gotta watch that weight, right? Gotta look good for your wife. Well, that's what I tell myself. So the level 2 community down here is basically, it looks like a crazy system we're going on. So basically this tab right here, this column, is basically where it's being executed from and what exchange, what the bid is, and how many are they buying on that. So once the earnings come out and the bell closes, and then you kind of have that really calm before the storm, this thing will start printing either way, and kind of people can start trying to predict and try to get in front of the bid, or it's going to be a lot of algorithmic trading. Because so once the earnings report goes out, they have funds, and larger smart funds have this really intelligent script reader that literally picks apart each reads through the PDF or whatever format it is, the document, and picks out certain numbers, and that's where you get the spit out of different numbers. So if they have an algorithm that says to go long or short, the revenue's down, or some unknown expense pops into the overall market, we can see a crazy driving of the price up and down. So hopefully that makes sense, right? Raw S, yes, I do think of an Ivy Crush. I'm actually currently trying to get into selling some puts here, but it's not really letting me. And I don't really want to fandangle the price here. I might do here, let me see if I can get filled. It's working. I don't think I'm going to get filled before the close. Again, we have about 2 minutes left here exactly. Why does it say Jan 1? Eastern Standard Time. Local time. That's really weird. Did something just go haywire in my system? Well, that's not reading right now, is it? Yeah, we'll see what happens. This is going to be interesting for sure. It looks like I'm not going to get the price that I want for selling my puts here on my Zoom. The bell's about to close here in about 30 seconds. I really don't want to play it too heavily. I'm actually going to just cancel it just to be on the safe side. I don't want to get filled. Kind of was trying to get $2 or $3 out of some selling some puts there. Yeah, I'm actually gonna put this time frame down to a 1 minute ticker. This thing's gonna be pretty crazy moving here in a second here. Again, with the earning announcement, we're about to close here in about, what is it? There we go. Markets are closed. All bets are done. Well, I guess you could trade after hours, right? So now we're gonna be coming into level 2 here. So now things kind of changed here. So we're going to look between the left hand side here, which is going to be the live news, and then the options or the stock market here. You can kind of see the bid and ask it's going to be flopping around a little bit, and then we have the chart up here. Let me kind of clean this up just a little bit for you guys so we can kind of get some better stuff shown here. We're going to dupe, and dupe. Apply. There we go. Makes it look a little better. So basically, this is going to be a crazy move. It's going to be pretty, so you can kind of see some activity going on here. We'll see some, like it's 2:07 again, nothing to report yet. So once the earnings report is linked or something like that, you'll see quite a bit of activity coming in. You're seeing a couple bids here at 101 or 100. What's that? Oh, it's 180. Sorry, 180. And we got a couple here. Looks like it's trying to a couple ask at 238. Again, they're going to be quite all over the place. People just kind of be trying to potentially time the market and try to get it from it. You guys have any questions or anything like that? We can kind of, I think, if I remember right, this usually takes a little bit for Zoom. They usually report around 4:15, 4:30. Kind of the overall market doesn't really completely close until like 4:15. It kind of settles some bets and kind of makes double checks some things like that. I'm seeing nothing too crazy here. This is what the calm before the storm I'm talking about is. Let me take a bite of my fantastic Nature Valley bar. I'm not sponsored by them. I should, right? That'd be great. Who's sponsored by Nature Valley? That'd be fantastic sponsorship, wouldn't it? Oh, let's do here. I'm actually gonna go, my bad, sorry. Just want to make sure everything, yeah, there we go. I don't know why my bar disappeared there. Just gonna sit and wait here. Again, nothing too drastic going on here. There's a couple bids coming in here, a little below 207. It's kind of looks like there's a lot of activity going back and forth. Still nothing released here yet on the overall systems. Anyone have any predictions? I think they're just going to be kind of slightly, I don't know how they're going to make their total earnings. I just want to know on how much money they're making, because there's just like, I think someone wrote that they're going to have SJ says revenue 200 million. Okay, I see that. Looking for a potential huge slide up or down. We'll see what happens, but I'm more concerned on how many people are actually paying for the product. Dude, Game Squad TV, what man, you got it made over there. A soft chocolate chip with milk. Man, did you make the cookies yourself too? $10-minute rule in and out. So you day trade then. You literally, oh, here's some bids coming in. Oh, nothing too crazy. I saw some, because what you'll see here, again, I probably repeat myself 13 times now, but what you're going to see is a huge waterfall, as they call it, of green or red, of people trying to get in and out of the stock once the algorithms kind of look through whatever the earnings report comes out. Is just going to be pretty drastic, and then you're going to see this line jump up and down like an earthquake just hit, and you're going to see it like going off, what's that thing called, the Richter scale, is that what it's called, they use to measure earthquakes? I don't know. I'm not that. Oh, looks like we're getting a little bid here, a little pop here. Looked like pop to 213, interesting? Nothing yet. There hasn't been. It's kind of like oh, there it is. Zoom reports first run of fiscal period. So now we're gonna see a lot of this stuff. 3, 2, 3. Here it goes. Get ready for it. There it goes. Boom. Looks pretty good. Waiting for the stuff, the data kind of catching up. It is pretty crazy right now. The system is overloaded here. Now you're seeing a lot of these bid and ask coming in, looking at 220. Look, going 223 now. I'm still waiting for the full-on report to come out. There we go. Okay, that just popped there. Looks like a sales of 328 million beats the $200 million estimate. Again, that's just the initial reaction. Looking for a potential kick higher here. We're seeing at 218. This could be coming off depending on what the overall guidance could be, if they're saying anything. Net operating 27. Let's see here. Earns 20 cents per share. This seems pretty good, which is there's an increase of the sales. So that's pretty substantial. 169% increase in sales. It's looking like we're going to be hovering around 220 here for a little bit. Again, that is not really anywhere near it's actually somewhat slightly near to the top end of the first deviation move. The first deviation move, I believe, was around 235. So we're not too far off. It looks like everyone's taking this good with stride. Again, this is even before the overall conference call and people start jumping in. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good quarter for sure, unless the CEO comes out and says some negative stuff. It looks like it's going to be going fairly well. Again, you're going to be seeing these candlesticks going up and down quite a bit here on buying and selling and just trying to get in. Looks like a lot of people are just getting in and out of the stock. It looks, I want to see second quarter revs. It's coming down quite a bit here. It looks like see if it can hold the 5 or 8 exponential moving average. Again, not a big fan of day trading, but we'll see. Let's see here. There it is here, adjusted. Second quarter financial total revenues expected between 455 million to 450 million. Non-GAAP income. It seems like the numbers are, this is strange. Okay, there must be something that I'm missing here because it's starting to come back down. So there must be, because their adjusted revenue is not in line from what they're expecting here. It was an earnings beat, but they're not going to be predicting as high as price as they were expecting. So it looks like, if I'm reading this right, this is moving so fast, I apologize. A lot of selling's coming in here, kind of getting out. This has much been like a squeeze, and now it's going to potentially pop higher here. I need to figure this different little setup here. Hang on. Let me get another news source. All right. It looks like there's an issue between what they're thinking about their EPS for the next going on year. What up, Makeshift Player? Thanks for joining, man. Again, just to take it with a grain of salt, this is after hours trading, which is considered the Wild West. So this is going to be moving quite a bit. It's not going to be considered to the final price. It's most likely best to kind of wait until the overall earnings call or the conference call, the telecall they use. I wonder if they're using Zoom for their conference call, right? Wouldn't that be the best thing to do, right? If they're not using Zoom for their conference call, what's the point here? To short the stock if it's their conference call is not even on using their own product, right? Am I right? Right? This is gonna be, yeah. It looks like just trading sideways. Look, it's basically what some people that have reached out saying that it's probably just gonna be, since it had a pretty massive run into this quarter. Again, it went from last Friday. Let's do this real. last Friday into basically close of today, it went up 26%. All right, it had literally a huge move the last couple days. Oh, it's a Zoom webinar. Okay, good. Thank you, SJ, for that due diligence. Yeah, because I think it's a West Coast company, so they're going to do it later in the day. That would be funny if it wouldn't be, right? I'd like to hear more. Okay, Zoom reports. Here it is. This is what I've been waiting for right here. Approximately 265 customers, which are more than 10 employees, are approximately for form of the same quarter of the fiscal year. 780 customers consolidated. I thought there was going to be like, I want to know who their customers are, on who, with customers with more than 10 employees, approximately 700 customers with 10 or more employees. Like, people with 10 or more employees, are they actually really using this? I think this could be a potential, like, I think they have to kind of explain that. Like, if you're not familiar with, like, Slack, so Slack, which is work, which is also coming out on Thursday, that they have this very freemium kind of version of Slack, and people use that much more frequently than going to the full paid. I know multiple companies that actually do that, instead of just going, because they're kind of giving this away, right? It is, yeah, I agree, JT Money. It is, I wouldn't say overvalued. It's just I think people are trying to figure out what the value is right now. Trying to figure out, is this, again, we're talking about this stock, and it's basically trading as much as all the airlines combined here, which is quite astonishing. So right now, again, we actually pretty much unchanged, literally by only up by $1. So nothing too crazy to report, ish. We just want to see until like 5:30 to see if there's going to be a potential catalyst for them to move higher, because now it's just going to be everyone kind of going through the report, skimming through things, and looking at what means what is it. So Zoom communication to customers more than 100,000 trailing 12-month revenue, like, because you want to see a lot more customers contributing to the larger price tickets. So larger companies that are using Zoom completely for their GoToMeeting stuff, or I'm saying GoToMeeting, doing their Zoom communications. So I want to see pretty high volume of customers' contracts that are year over year. Other companies offer the same thing for free, and lockdowns are ending. When is the lockdowns ending? Do you know, JT, on top of your head? Yeah, again, we'll see again. So again, just to kind of give you a full over perspective here, the overall move was going to be basically the options market was looking at 240 down to 175 was going to be the move that was expected for the rest of the week. So again, it's only the end of Tuesday, so we literally have 3 days, full days of trading left, and it's going to take a lot of time to people to digest on what happened, people to look over the report, people to their brokers or whoever to start calling things. Algorithms are going to coming in to maybe scalp it potentially tomorrow. A lot of people potentially with options, once a lot of the fluff or the froth, whatever you want to call it, is out of the stock, the premiums, people are reading those. We'll see what happens, and I think that I'm not sure if this is going to be a stock that's going to be around forever, in the sense of the Zoom component of the remote work. I think that a lot of things will be entailed and continue working somewhat remote, but with so many people just continually going back into the office and kind of getting back to doing air quotes normal, we could be seeing some potential slowdown in this segment of the thing, because if I'm right, if I understand this, that Zoom communication, I don't like to use this word, but they're kind of a one-trick pony, like, right? Their one-trick pony is, it's their golden goose, which is everyone knows what Zoom is. It's like everyone knows what Google is, everyone knows who Mickey Mouse is, everyone who knows whatever you can say is everyone kind of knows and understands that. And then the potential of, seeing on, this is going to be a new vocabulary word for a lot of people. Even though with Zoom kind of being rejected by a lot of larger companies due to their issues with Zoom bombing, I think that kind of hurt them a lot. Even though they're trying to fix that, and they did that, the new 256 encryption on their meetings with not able to do the Zoom bombing and dropping in and out of Zooms without being authorized to do so. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely beat expectations by a lot. But that being said, that doesn't mean it's still this. What's the story behind it? I always think of if a stock's going to continue going higher. Like I say this example quite a bit. So like Tesla. Tesla has a great story behind it. They are trying to make the world a better place. They are doing really crazy things with solar, with battery powered stuff. It's going to be they're doing interesting stuff like Zoom. Like there's Cisco out there. There's LogMeIn. Google's doing their own thing. Like I don't know. Like that's just me just being very blunt and very honest to you guys there. On a stock price, it's definitely overvalued. I have to agree with you on that. But when I'm looking at this, I look at it as a strictly price, volume, and what the chart's telling me is that the momentum was there. But we'll see on how this is overall digesting. Looks like we are basically 17 minutes into the drop of the earnings report, basically, and it's kind of just been trading blah. Like it hasn't really moved anything like that. Yeah, Microsoft Teams. I didn't even think about that. I totally forgot about a Microsoft 365 client and their Teams portal. There is a little bit more other expenses regarding around Microsoft Teams. You have to do a couple add-on licenses, but yeah, the capabilities there, Mario. Yeah, no competitive advantage. Exactly. That's basically what like Warren Buffett always talks about, or any of these little value investors. Little, I don't know why they call them little. There's no moat. There's no wall. Like I don't like to use wall because it's kind of misused these days. There's no moat. There's no barrier. There's no castle that kind of protects your property line, I guess. Zoom makes a good product. They are, I consider them the Apple of the product, but Apple of their overall product because it's simple for a lot of people who are not techie to use it. 100%. That being said, they have a niche right now. Everyone knows what Zoom means. That's what I'm talking about, of the sense of like everyone knows what Google is. Okay, you ask someone to ask what Yahoo is, they have no idea what Yahoo is. Most of them, like you go to talk to anyone on the street, they don't know what Yahoo is, or in the sense of figuring out to what will happen with the overall, like looking at like, oh, let's Google it. You can just say, oh, let's just do a Zoom. That's basically what I get into. Oh, you have to talk to a sales guy in Cisco. Let's be honest here, Alan. Cisco is an old-fashioned company. Let's be quite straight to the point, and they have acquired a multitude of different companies to do their one thing that used to do pretty well in, and they are now kind of somewhat, I wouldn't say disconnected, but they're a super huge, enormous company with a lot of legs and arms, and it just kind of needs, the head needs to kind of twist back on tight on the body to kind of consolidate things and make things super simple. And I totally agree with you on that, Alan. I can't stand when you have to, you can't just log onto the website and just purchase something. You have to talk to the salesperson. Oh, talk to one of our account executives that's going to make the right plan for you. I don't got time for that, bro. That's the one thing that bugs me about GoToMeeting, is that you have to contact with one of the sales reps. It's not the most simplest process to even upgrade your current accounts. Like, whew, rough stuff. Guys, this has been absolutely so much fun. I hope everyone had a great time. Is there any other stocks that you guys want to kind of look at here? I think it's going to be kind of be sitting on your hands waiting for the potential move around 5:30 once the CEO and all the other folks on the exec team is coming out and go through. Well, Al, I think the reason why it hasn't moved so much is because it had such enormous move the last 3 days. Again, it looks like we literally had a move. I think I said I did the numbers. It was 26% the last 2 or 3 days. So I think that move was kind of baked in already, and it wasn't going to move that much because of the again, I think it was nearly a 30% move the last 2 or 3 days. So that's, I think, the reason why normally when a stock rallies up like this and the numbers are really good, because again, they beat by 100 percentile points at some categories. That being said, there wasn't an overall, like, it's kind of what we expected, right? And it didn't like blow past the numbers. And again, and a lot of people, it comes down to the algorithm, what people are willing to pay for, with supply and demand and what the stock price is, that folks didn't want to pay the premium for it yet, because it kind of ran up. So I think you can't, it's hard to kind of assess a value onto it with the reason why. There's never really a reason why. It's just what the market overlords thought. FB, let's go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and reset we're gonna reset this puppy. Boom. All right, reset. All right, FB, let's do some FB. I'll hang around for a little bit. We'll do some fun here. FB, Facebook. Yeah, even with the overall executive order of Trump signing it, it kind of hasn't really been, it have a swing lower, but they don't care. The 5 and 8 exponential moving average have been holding up fairly well here, moving still higher, hasn't really closed below those, so that is indicating for more potential uprising, going higher. Again, the first line of resistance is going to come in basically around 218, and then since it is kind of going into unknown territory, what we did previously is doing a fib analysis. So we're going to look for where the 127 is going to be coming in, and that's where we have that alert at 247 up there. That is the 127 extension from the previous swing high to low, and that be the next potential price target to go from. Yeah, I think they released a Facebook Shops, which was kind of the competitive to Etsy, I believe. Marshall says space. Yeah, I love talking about space. This thing kind of has been beaten up, though. I think with the overall launch, it's kind of like in a limp noodle kind of scenario, in the sense of it kind of had its move higher, and now people are kind of out of it due to the successful launch. I'm in this basically with some long-term options. I need it to hold basically the 200-day, which is around 15, but I have a little bit of lower price at 14.28 for the downside. And again, the potential upside first level is going to be around 21, but I kind of want to see it to 25 plus, if that makes sense for you there. $5, Matt Preston. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Mic drop. Awesome, dude. Thank you very much. What do you think about Facebook this week? Got 8K on it now. Oh, yeah, 8K. That's a lot of money there on one position. I hope that's not your whole account there. Just be very careful and be mindful of that. Are you doing stock or options? Just be very careful. I know I hate this. Be very careful. Don't lose the money. The first rule of investing and trading is don't lose money. Second rule of investing and not and trading is remember rule number 1. Andrew says I second FFIV. I've seen FFIV. What's F? Oh, F5 Networks. Okay, I know this company. This had a crazy move back in the day, if I remember right. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I remember this guy. Yeah, the memory just clicked there. Overall, so on the daily chart, you can see the 200 exponential moving average here. It's kind of been overhead resistance for multiple times, but now it's kind of made a pretty V-shaped bottom, if I rather would say that, and it's really been trading up on the 21 here. Between the 5 and 8 been kind of supportive. Looks like the earnings did come out here at the beginning of May, end of April, spot up and kind of came down holding the 5 and 8, continue trading higher. Looking for, I'm actually going to do a quick fib here to kind of give you some points there, my friend. All right, important key level, looking for the 100 percentile move. So we're going to be looking at first rung of resistance on the way up is at 157 there, my friend, and then support's going to come in pretty strong here because that's the 78.6 there, and as well at the 21. So we're going to look around the 140, 139 level for support if it does come down. And then after that, we're going to be looking at support around the 200. I do like that the 50-day, which is this red teal line, is going to be crossing the 200, which is a inclination of a reversal, a lack of better words. I don't rely on it, but that could be a pretty large trend change for continue higher prices. I do need the parabolic SAR dots to kind of switch to the bottom since there's still some upward pressure on the way up, because we do have a pretty high ceiling of resistance here, because you can see it here on last earnings call, I mean back in October, and then you see it again with the previous earnings call that we just recently had. So that's going to be kind of like a pretty high ceiling to break through. What's Fiverr's stock ticker? Wu says TX. So this one, okay, this is interesting. Overall, it looks like it's trying to hit some resistance here. So we can do a swing high, swing low here. It's still below 200, so this 200 exponential moving average is always going to come in as just whatever resistance and really heavy overall support or resistance on the way up or down. We can do a quick fib. I think this is going to line up with like the 618 or the 50 percentile, and kind of in the middle between the two. So the 50 percentile move is around 17, and then the 618 is around 18. But I think I'm going to rely more on the 200-day, and it kind of needs to break through that. The momentum's kicking higher. The volume oscillator is going higher, with the RSI as well kicking higher. Momentum has just been popped off, looking like the 5 and 8 exponential moving averages have been holding fairly tight for these guys for a continued trend higher. With the 21, it's going to be hopefully curving up as well. The parabolic SAR below, which is also a good sign. So upward continuation looks like it's possible. Just be very careful once it starts hitting around the $17.50 to $18 level, my friend. Fiverr is FVRR. Let me do Zynga, ZN. Oh, just nearly dropped my water there. So Zynga, they're still stuck in the communication stuff, right? It looks like, okay, I'm looking at the bottom corner here. It looks like Zoom is up back up to like 214, 215. So it's going to be taking, again, we want to wait more to like the 5:30 limit to see what the CEO and the company say. Zynga, wow, this thing has been, whew. Let's look at this a lot longer time frame here. That's a 4 hour. Let's do a weekly side. Yeah, this is definitely due to a lot of the mobile gaming stuff. If you're thinking about a great trade for the summertime, I'm just going to go straightly to the weekly chart because you're going to be thinking a little bit longer term than just the daily chart. That being said, this looks really strong. Like, even though it looks like they lost money on their quarter, that's probably due to just ramping up of just things, of expenses, doing to try to get things out. I'm not quite sure exactly what games are the Zynga games anymore because I'm not really in that scene. Looking for pretty high momentum here. It has a couple gap higher here, especially for the beginning of this week. A gap higher. Normally, that's a very strong sign for potentially going higher. The only concern is that the momentum is super high. Again, it's off the chart literally. And the RSI is getting fairly close to 80, which is a typical sign of overbought or overpriced or whatever you want to call it. And it could be potentially coming down. It's going to be hard to kind of run some previous fibs, but we can look at some here. This might hit the 200. Yeah, look at that. What did? Woo, baby! Oh, it didn't click. Okay, this is gonna be. Okay, that makes more sense. This looks pretty interesting. So potentially, it could hit the 2618, which is that's a hell of a move. That's going to be the $10. So that's going to be a potential. It has a lot of overhead pressure already because it's considered going in unknown territory and flying through unknown space. That being said, first line of downward resistance or pressure or support, whatever you want to call it, is going to be basically coming in between like the 8 exponential moving average. Again, this is on a weekly chart, so this is a longer time frame because you asked about potentially holding it through the summer. So just be very careful in mindset of that, my friend. And let me go back to Fiverr let me go here, FVRR. Whoa. This is like gangbusters. All right. This looks just like Zynga, but just on steroids. This is absolutely insane for sure. I hope you made quite a bit of deal of money off this. This is basically, yeah, I can't even. It's gonna be a hard one to analyze, my friend. If I can go to the 4236, which I don't actually, yeah. Again, I don't even know how to. I can't even breathe on this one. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Can I go? There we go. Back. So the 21 on the daily chart is going to be your ongoing downward support. Looking for the downward motion or downward support if it gets down to that point. We do want to see it. It's just been a high flyer. Like, it looks like even though on its earnings it's been skyrocketing, it did hit its RSI overbought and then kind of leveled off a little bit. It sold off just a little bit, probably with the overall market, but again came right down to its 21 with hold support, and it would just continue going higher. If you're in it, you got to be very careful. Once it starts getting some air out of it, this could potentially going down, crossing to the 21. So just be very mindful of that. The 5 and 8 exponential moving average are going to be your friends to kind of gauge on the overall strength and momentum. Michael, yeah, they have earnings. They have the earnings call in like an hour. Yeah, we're gonna get off here in probably like 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll analyze it on another video, so forth. Hopefully that helps with you. Do you mind talking about TMUS? Is that TMUS? Is that T-Mobile? Yeah. Okay, so didn't T-Mobile buy Sprint? Yes, they did, right? It looks like they never got down on my price target here. I had a buy here. Okay, so I got to move that all the way up there to the 21. It looks like the quarter was pretty good. Looked really good, actually. Popped off, kind of came lower. The 21 has been holding substantially for the past for a while actually. It kind of failed here a little bit, but that was due to probably some earnings pressure and some earnings getting out and things like that. Looking for a potential 21 for the support. Again, all-time high at 102, so looking for that. Let me do, we can do a really small fib here. This is going to be very short term because the duration of this. Again, looking like support here at 99, potentially more support at 97, and then ongoing support here at 96. Overhead resistance is going to, of course, be the previous high, which is at 102, and then basically trying to break above 105 there. I'm quite astonished that this stock has run up that much. I'm really happy for him, actually. Hopefully that helped you there, my friend. H2 Pros Space Virgin Galactic shares are said to be offered at 15 each. Oh, okay. Are they just trying to raise more capital for potential trying to fly to space or voyages? Okay, that's why that's been down. Okay. Guys, you guys any more stocks or questions, things like that? I really enjoyed doing this. This was awesome. If there is another time you guys want to do this to kind of have a live stream to react to things, I would love to do it. I enjoyed bringing my snack into this, eating my snacks with you guys, watching some charts, watching some great companies, stay hydrated. Oh, Andrea says SQ. Okay, we can look at SQ, my friend. Sorry, I just kind of went off a tangent. Yeah, if you guys want to do this more, why Zoom stock rise before earnings? Again, I don't know why, but I think people were just trying to, it's a FOMO. Like, people are like, oh my gosh, I'm using Zoom at work, or I don't know the full psychological thought, but I think people wanted, some people trade it into earnings and then get out, and then potentially looking for getting back in, or some people just think about buying it, because you have to think too, there's a lot of people who are using their stimulus check and just putting it right into the stock market. There's actually quite a staggering amount of people have done that, actually, like for people who actually got a stimulus check. That being said, I don't know. I just know that it move up. I don't really want to. For me, I don't look at the reason why. I just kind of react to what's giving to me and just kind of go off that. It happens quite a bit because if people think that they're going to fear of missing out of a huge move, it's going to go to the moon. Oh, Zoom's going to go to 500 on the earnings call. But if you sit back and actually think about it, like, the unlikelihood of that is not very likely, right? All right, so someone asked about SQ. We can do some quick SQ. Again, looks like it just hit an all-time high today. Fantastic, love it. We're actually in PayPal, which I haven't looked at long-term PayPal, or not options in stock. So swing high to swing low here. Again, breaking that 100 percentile move. So the next level is going to be at 101. That's a nice little number there. And why did I say 101? That's going to be the 127 move from the previous swing high to low. Again, downward pressure. If it does start selling off, the initial first stop is going to be at 77, and it's going to be on a quietly tight range due to the fact of what could be happening. That being said, we are looking at the RSI. Again, this is on a daily chart. Usually when this hits like 80, this could be a potential sign for some overhead resistance and potentially getting some selling pressure due to a lot of algorithms getting being sold off due to that. Not just that particular, it's not just one indicator that makes things go crazy. It's a multitude of 4 or 5 indicators of like, hey, just hit an all-time high. Things usually just don't continue to climb on all-time highs to break out to new markets. That being said, I hope that this was fun and educational for everyone. I want to do this again. If you leave it in the comments, don't forget to hit a like and subscribe if you do enjoyed it. Thank you, Poisden, for the $5 donation once again. For the super like, I think they call it. I don't know. I think it's called the super like. What's it called? It's called. It doesn't show me. Lovely YouTube thing here. Okay, that being said, we're going to be doing another one of these most likely because I had a great time sharing my charts, talking about stocks, because I love talking about stocks. Like, I don't think you quite understand my passion within the stock market is. It's my light. I just constantly have to go to it. That being said, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. You can join the Discord. It should be in the description. We also have a Patreon page if you're looking to help support the channel and kind of get some cool stuff from that. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.